This explainer is from Chapter 7 of this tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC.
All right, let's get into it. Today we're going to put on our detective hats. Why? Because we're going to uncover the real story behind your organization's AI security needs. You know, finding the truth, it's not about guesswork. Not at all. It's about having the right tools in your toolkit and knowing exactly how to use them.
So let me just ask you this, straight up. Are you building your critical AI security training based on, well, assumptions? Just on what you think people need to know?
Because if that's the case, you're basically designing a blueprint for failure. I mean, think about it. You're pouring time, you're pouring money into a solution that could just completely miss the mark.
And here's the absolute bottom line. The quality of your training, its real ability to stop bad things from happening, is tied directly to the quality of the data you gather up front. It's a classic case of garbage in, garbage out. It really is that simple.
So how do we avoid gathering just superficial or even biased information? Well, you need a plan, a systematic plan. This isn't just a free-for-all data collection. Nope, it's about collecting the right data and doing it the right way. Honestly, that plan, it's the most important tool you've got.
Okay, so our Data Detectives Toolkit, it's basically split into two parts. Let's start with part one. This is all about gathering intelligence directly from the source, and that means talking to your people.
First up in the toolkit, surveys. Now think of these as casting a really wide net. They are just fantastic for efficiently grabbing quantitative data from tons of people so you can spot those big overarching patterns. You know, things like, what tools are people actually using? How confident do they feel? This is how you start to map the entire landscape.
But, and this is a big but, a bad survey is honestly worse than no survey at all. So you've got to follow these 5 best practices. Rule number 1, know exactly what you want to learn before you even think about writing a question. 2, use a smart mix of question types, multiple choice, scales, the works. 3, write with crystal clarity. That means no jargon and absolutely no leading questions. 4, keep it short and sweet. Respect people's time. And finally, and seriously, this part is non-negotiable, you always pilot test it first.
Okay, so surveys give you the what, but interviews, that's where you get the why. This is where you get to roll up your sleeves and really dig deep. You sit down one-on-one and you uncover all those rich qualitative details. You know, the context, the motivations, the actual stories behind the numbers that a simple multiple choice question could never, ever capture.
And what I love is how this breaks down the whole process. See, success isn't just about what happens during the interview itself. So much of it starts way before, in the planning phase. Stuff like creating a good guide, picking a diverse group of people, and just being prepared. Then, when you're actually in there, it's all about execution, building rapport, really listening, and probing for those juicy details, all while making sure you stay totally neutral.
All right, let's switch gears and move to the second part of our toolkit. And trust me, this is where things get really interesting. We're now shifting away from what people say they do to what they actually do. We are observing reality firsthand. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Why is this so important? Well, people often describe this, this idealized version of their work. A lot of the time, they don't even realize they're doing it. But observation, it just cuts right through all of that reporting bias. It shows you what's really happening on the ground, and it reveals all those informal workarounds into real-world practices people have developed.
Now, observing reality isn't just about watching people. It's also about reviewing the existing evidence, the paper trail, if you will. I mean, think of yourself as a detective looking through old case files. Policies and procedures, they tell you what the official rules are supposed to be. Training records show you what people have supposedly already learned. Security incident reports, oh yeah, they reveal the crimes of the past, the patterns of failure. And system logs, that's the cold, hard, objective data of who used what and when. No opinions, just facts.
So, you've done the work. You've gathered all these clues. You've got survey results, interview notes, your own observations, a stack of documents. Now what? The big question is, how do you piece it all together? Well, welcome to the final phase. This is where the detective finally cracks the case by turning all that raw data into real, actionable insight.
Basically, you're going to be working in 2 different modes here. On one hand, you have your quantitative analysis. That's where you're looking at the hard numbers from your surveys and logs to find patterns and correlations. But at the same time, you've got your qualitative analysis. That's digging into your interviews and observations to find the themes, the insights, the why behind the numbers. And the best part? The 2 modes complement each other perfectly.
And look, this isn't some kind of magic trick. It's a clear, systematic process. First, you got to clean your data. Get rid of the junk, make sure it's accurate. Then you do a descriptive analysis, just to see the big picture. From there, you start comparing results across different groups, maybe departments or roles. You're actively hunting for those important patterns. And the final step? Synthesis. You bring it all together into one single, coherent conclusion.
And that's the whole point right there. This is the ultimate goal. You're not just creating a boring list of facts. No way. You're weaving together every single piece of evidence, the numbers, the stories, the observations, into one compelling narrative. A story that perfectly explains your organization's real AI security needs and, crucially, convinces the people in charge to actually do something about it.
Which brings us to maybe the single most important takeaway from all of this. Great, truly effective training, the kind that actually changes behavior and reduces real risk, it isn't just designed out of thin air.
It's diagnosed. So, there you have it. You have the detective's toolkit. You've got the methods for asking, for observing, and for analyzing. The only question left is a pretty big one. Are you ready to get out there and use it to find the truth about your organization's AI risks?